At the edge of myself. At the edge of myself, I sing the songs of Walt Whitman. Happy Easter. It is a day of dollars and cents. Happy Easter. The song of myself. Walt Whitman sings, number 24. Walt Whitman, a cosmos of Manhattan, the sun, turbulent, fleshy, sensual, eating, drinking, breeding. No sentimentalist, no stander above men and women or apart from them. No more modest than immodest. Unscrew the locks from the doors, unscrew the doors from their jambs. Whoever degrades another degrades me, and whatever is done and said returns at last to me. The scripture according to Walt Whitman. Through me the afflatus surging and surging, through me the current and index. I speak the password primeval. I give the sign of democracy. Democracy, holy democracy. The sign of democracy. By God, I will accept nothing which all cannot have their counterpart of the same terms. Democracy. Through me, many long, dumb voices I hear. Through me, many long, dumb voices I hear. Voices of the intermingling generations of prisoners and slaves. Voices. Happy Easter. More intuitive me, I hear voices. The voices of the diseased and despairing, of the thieves and dwarves, voices of the cycles, a preparation of accretion, and the threads that connect the stars and the wombs and of the father stuff. And the rights of them, the rights of others are drawn upon democracy, holy democracy, Walt Whitman speaks of. Fog in the air, beetles rolling balls of dung in democracy, Walt Whitman speaks about. Through me, forbidden voices, I hear forbidden voices. The voices of the wages of democracy, Walt Whitman speaks about. Through me, forbidden voices, the voices of sexes and lusts, voices veiled, and I've removed the veil. I've removed the veil. The voices of democracy, the voices of democracy sing out. Hello, hello, we are there. The voices of democracy, forbidden voices, voices of lust, veiled. I've removed the veil. Voices of indecent by me clarified and transfigured. Reading from American Poets on the third week of National Poetry Month. I do not press my fingers across my mouth. I keep as delicate around. Hello, hello, welcome, you are new. I do not press my fingers across my mouth. I keep as delicate around the bowels as around the head and heart. Welcome, Wednesday. We are in English, celebrating National Poetry Month, the American poet of Walt Whitman, the father of free verse poetry. I will speak another line or two from them. Welcome. Through me, forbidden voices I hear. Through me, forbidden voices speak. Through me, forbidden voices speak about the sexes, about lusts, voices veiled in the dark, voices indecent. No, we are celebrating National Poetry Month is April. If you are in English class, then you are in English class. But we are celebrating poetry. The poetry, the eternal words of poetry, because human speak mystery through poetry. Poetry is how you can unlock the mysteries of life. Happy Easter. Christ is risen indeed today. I press my fingers across my mouth and I will segue to my poems that I wrote, inspired by Walt Whitman. At the edge of me, the sail hangs lifeless off the mast, still air hot, magnifying sunlight, burning skin through a glass. Burning skin through a glass. Is this then a touch? A clammy, heart, heat stroked hand reaches around, boards for the flax, for the flask. To understand poetry, you really need to hear it. You need to speak it. Do not read it. Poetry is all about the hearing, the speaking, and the feeling, and the emotions and images that the words that you hear invoke in you. That is what poetry is about. But let me finish this poem. Is this then a touch? A clammy, heat-stroked hand reaches round, boards for the flask. Life-giving water wets scorched lips. The water outside the dinghy, toxic. Toxic to the body, toxic. The fish are sleeping, hiding down deep in the cold. My sinews flaccid, waiting for the mother to exhale and touch the sail, push us to the edge of me. I continue on. To the edge of me, I don't feel you. To the edge of me, I don't feel you. To the edge of me, I don't feel you. And you, there. It is cold in this room, my bed warm. This, I hear footsteps, shuffling, scurrying, clattering, fumbling, fingers numb. A screeching door of the stove opening, crumbling paper, fumbling with wood. The stove door squeaks a bit more. I hear the striking sound of a match being drawn on the striper. Psh! The flame springs into life. I imagine I imagine a flame, a match gives birth to heat. Is this touch then? Hello? Is this touch then to the edge of me? What is this sound assaulting, titillating? It feels like a stone pressing me into the earth. It feels like a stone pressing into me from the earth. The poet of the body wakes, imagines something new. At the edge of me, at the edge of me, at the edge of me, whimpering, praying, singing, I am solid. I am sound. I am deathless. I am life, the ground. The ground I exist, aware that this is enough. At the edge of me, at the edge of me, I sing. Tea, ta 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 tea. Tea, ta 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 tea. I want to be a bird. The nail is in the board. The film is on the reel. The axis spins and spins round the ring. Saturn. Saturn out there beyond Jupiter, out in the cold, it influences me. This body, this soul, heaven, hell, increased upon me. At the edge of you, the brine of life sparkles on the pond. Endless words unfold. Welcome, spiritual rain. I cannot accept what is real. Before my eyes, I dream. Tea, tartar, tarty. Tea, tartar, tarty. The song sings at the edge of me. Well, that is all the poetry that I wrote for week 3 of National Poetry Month. And I will just read some more from Walt Whitman. And thank you all for tuning in, for pushing the like button, the subscribe button if you have. National Poetry Month concludes next week with week 4. Here's a bird that I did last night, painting and celebrating this month. It's not an exact match. And then today it is Easter Sunday. Christ has been risen from the tomb, and then others have been risen from the tomb, and then I painted this on Friday. And it really reminded me of this image here. The next day I saw, I wonder if Wait, when he imagined the Three of Swords, if he wasn't thinking about the crucifixion, you have this heart that is suspended in the clouds. It's been pierced 3 times because, I think there were 3 wounds that were pierced into Jesus, into his side. And then you have the wound here and the wound here. And so you look at that, the 3 of Swords and the crucifixion. It might have been more, but I thought it was like 3 wounds. 3 wounds were done, because it was 1, 2, and then these feet nailed together. But then it's like 4. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. But we have the Three of Swords. Happy Easter, Fatima. And I will finish. You know, I should spin a poem in the moment, right? Spin a poem in the moment. Spin a poem in the moment. And I will go with cards that I am making for. And where are they at? I have cards that I'm making. Where did I put them at? I have not broken them in. Where are they at? Are they down here? Huh. Here they are. The cards that I am making for the more intuitive me and essence of the moon. And someday I will send some of these to Roots and Waves. So here is my Oracle crossword Oracle cards. They're not quite activated yet because they are still in the making phase. And we have the words of gossip within appear. Gossip within appear. Open the door and look out at the view. Open the door, look out at the view. Birds sing, the squirrel eating blossoms in the grass. The rain, spring gently falling in a 60-degree day. Not too cold, not too hot. Spring rain giving life. As you look out that open door, your view expands. And you imagine that the bluebird is gossiping to the robin about that damn squirrel stealing your food. The crow caw-cawing warns that a hawk is coming in. Go back to your nests and protect your eggs. The hawk is hungry. The hawk is hungry. The hawk hungers for you. That wasn't exactly a poem, was it? That was almost like I was spinning a story. Gossip. The sky. A tuxedo. This guy I saw wore a tuxedo, walking down a stone walkway, strutting his stuff like a bird ruffling its feathers, seeking to attract someone into his world, wearing this tuxedo like a bird, a penguin, waddling around on the ice, protecting its young, feeding on fish in the icy sea. This guy walking down imagines all this. He's bold in his head. He's bold in his mind, but beyond that, he's meek. The first lady he sees, he passes by with just a hi. Passes on by, but he's still there in his mind, strutting his stuff, ruffling his feathers, looking for the touch of another human being on his heart. Cold out there in space, spinning around like Saturn, rings around Saturn, so beautiful to see. But out there in the cold alone of space. Some few words for you. These are, let's just take another card at random. 20 minutes in. We have some letters, F-O-A-Y, F-O-A-Y, if, if, if the ash is still warm, a cat will lay in front of the stove. If the ash is still warm, the cat will lay under the stove. It's not a poem, is it? There's no poem there. What is the word that about the cat, the ash? I'm from the States, from the western part of the States, celebrating poetry, the spoken word, in the democracy of ideas, the democracy into the chapel of poetry. This is where we're at right now. We are in the chapel of poetry. The chapel of poetry. And I will read one more poem and from Walt Whitman, Father Walt Whitman. Something a little bit shorter from the Song of Me. Is this touch then quivering me to a new identity? Black magic, yes. Oh, black magic. Well, within my black magic of my money in the chapel of poetry, I celebrate an American poet, Walt Whitman, the father of the free verse. All truths wait in all things. They neither hasten their own delivery nor resist it. They do not need the obstetric, I can't pronounce that word. They do not need the something forceps of the surgeon. The insignificant is as big to me as any. What is less or more than a touch? What is less or more than a touch? Logic and sermons never convince. The damp of the night drives deeper into my soul. The damp of the night drives deeper into my soul. Only what proves itself to every man and woman is so. Only what nobody denies is so. A minute and a drop of me settle my brain. I believe the soggy clouds become lovers and lamps, and compend of compends is the meat of man or woman. In the summit of flowers, there is a feeling they have for each other, and they are to branch boundlessly out of the lesson until it becomes honorific, until one of them shall delight in us and we delight in them. And he spoke earlier of democracy. There are many long, dumb voices, and that's where I am going to start my poems for the last week of National Poetry Month is through me, many long, many, through me, many long, dumb voices in poetry. Through me, many long, dumb voices in poetry. This is democracy. Listening to many long, dumb voices. Forbidden voices. Smart voices. Wise voices. But it seems in our world right now we are amongst a sea of dumb voices. There are many long, dumb voices speaking out of Washington today. There are many long voices speaking out of the White House today. Father Walt Whitman said so. Degrading, degrading, degrading the word in the chapel of poetry. Beetles rolling balls of dung spinning out. Beetles rolling balls of dung spinning out across the land. These long, dumb voices, they assault your senses. These long, dumb voices, they assault the senses. Churches, Bibles, and all the creeds, they have nothing to say. As Cash Peters said, become what Jesus taught. Do not quote his words to me. Babies, Bibles, creeds, more long, dumb voices to read. But out there on the plain, the grass grows, the trees, the flowers, the birds and the bees, they fly around. They teach us all we need to know. You just have to be present to listen to the voice of the Mother Earth, Gaia, as she speaks to you, to me, through words no brain can understand. That's it, folks, for this week's Chapel of Poetry. Thank you, Elizabeth, and I look forward to reading with you tomorrow. Spiritual Rain, thank you for tuning in for a few minutes. And did Fatima come in? Yes, thank you, Fatima, for coming on in too and celebrating National Poetry Month with me. Hopefully next week we'll have a guest again for Karen. Care Bear borrow the cards. I want on the last Sunday of National Poetry Month to have a guest. And anyways, that's all I got. I got to go turn the stove down. I got Big Bird cooking in the stove. And so my method of cooking all stuff like that is I turn the oven up to 450 for the first 40 minutes, and then I turn it down to 300 and I cook it for a long, long time. Anyways, good day to you from some random idiot in the Chapel of Poetry. Bye-bye, and thank you very much for your support. I will enjoy my nice family dinner with mother and the dog later. Oh, you didn't notice that before? Yeah. Yes, that's actually from Elizabeth. This is from a silver certificate. It's a silver certificate that when I was working as a cashier uh, in the casino buffet, someone handed me like they just handed me $1 and it was a silver certificate. It wasn't. It's not really one of those ones that are really super valuable. I think it's worth maybe like $5 or something like that. But yeah, yeah, a silver certificate. Let me see what year is it. It is it's kind of it's I like them because they got the blueprint on them, a little bit different, and it is from, let's see, B 760. I don't see a date on it. Do not see a date on it. But if you look up the serial number, hi Mama Sushi. If you look up the serial number of the silver certificate, you'll see that it's not really worth too much. Yeah, yeah, I know, I know. I have a few of these, but I got all kinds of interesting money when I was like working as that food and beverage cashier at the buffet, especially on those $10,000 sales days. Anyways, thank you very much for being with us, being with us today, and I'm gonna say bye bye, and we'll see you tomorrow at, what is it, 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock? 4 o'clock tomorrow. Bye, bye bye, and happy Easter to you all.